Well, I have a couple of guests over here at Chateau Brutalica. That's what I call my place. After all, I am the brutal one, and so this is Chateau Brutalica that we are in. And I have a couple of visitors here, and they are involved with a project called Star Trek Wars. And of course, being a Star Wars fan and a Star Trek fan, I do admit that I am a bit of a Trekker, but more of a Wars fan. Well, I had to invite these gentlemen over. So let's find out who these gentlemen are and learn a bit more about their ambitious project. Josh, I believe your name is. What is your role with what you are calling Star Trek Wars?
Oh, hey, I'm Joshua Ho, and I am the writer and director of Star Trek Wars, a fan film about Star Wars versus Star Trek, something that we feel has never been done at this level.
A fan film about Star Wars and Star Trek. Okay, all right.
I'm George Paradigm, and I'm one of the producers with Star Trek Wars.
A producer. I like this.
Well, I do a little bit of everything. We pretty much my primary job is to make sure that the project turns from a script and becomes a fully completed and distributed film. That's the essence of it. Right now, I'm leading up the development efforts of the film, which is primarily fundraising. It can come in a variety of different forms via small individual donations, and also corporate sponsorships and grants are also a key part of what we're looking for.
So, Josh, real quickly, what are your aspirations with this film? Is this something that you want to see sort of like satirical, something that would be YouTube material, or is this something that is really going to be a lot more high profile?
You know, I'm a film student from Cal State Long Beach. I graduated a year ago, and for me as a filmmaker, I'm looking for a story that's gripping. I'm looking for a story that a lot of people are going to relate to. And 2 years ago, we made a film about Steven Spielberg returning to college. And it was so well received. It was people really loved that story. And now with the story that's taking place in 2015, with George Lucas having given up his company after 40 years, and Star Trek director J.J. Abrams taking over, you know, this rivalry between the two of them, that story is so exciting to me. But also combining it with the elements of the franchises. And you can't even talk about any of this without the fan interaction. And so all of those things are going to be present in this film. My overall goal is to tell a really heartwarming story, a great story first, and then on top of that, pay homage to all of those elements.
This is a fan film, and it's more than just a film made by fans. This is truly a film for the fans. A central part of the film that the story revolves around is the fan community. Like you said, we're going to be needing cosplayers, so if you can donate your time in a costume, we'd appreciate to have you, as an extra on set. And if you know of any businesses or organizations that are interested in sponsoring, we can, hook them up with some custom goodies, be it a promotional shout out in the end of credits. We can include your organization's logo. We have tons of opportunities available for organizations and companies if they would like to sponsor.
On one hand, we decided we did not want to do this film under budget. We made an award-winning short film about Steven Spielberg, which we made for very little, and yet it had its flaws because we just did not have the money for it. So that's why we want to raise $10,000, is we want to have enough money to feed hundreds of people, to cast professional actors, to find real sets, real locations, all of those costs. So if we can't raise that money, we do not want to do it just cheaply because we feel it's a story worth it. But we're going to work really hard over the next month to ensure that we do raise the money.
It's like a love letter, like Fanboys was to Star Wars. This is something, at least that I gather from what you're telling me. It's sort of like a love letter to Star Trek and Star Wars combined. It's like a tribute to Lucas and Abrams. Josh, is that about right?
Yeah, that really does sum it up. That term has come up for us before with our previous project. And why is it a love letter? Because love the culture of it, love the people involved, and I'm so excited because we want to release it online in November, shortly before Star Wars 7 comes out. I'm so excited for the internet to see it, for everybody out there to see it, really come together. I feel like this film is going to, it's going to break some barriers. You know, I feel like there's going to be so many people interested in this, and I cannot wait to see where it goes. But we need your help.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the more help, the better. What kind of barriers are you trying to break? You did mention before groundbreaking. What is this? What is going to be so special about this film that's going to set it apart from all of the other fan films out there?
Well, I think you mentioned earlier, you were talking about, well, there's a lot of YouTube skits. So there's a lot of YouTube parodies about this. You know, I've seen a lot of those. You know, it's all over the internet. These parodies, we wanted to take that a step further. We want to take the story a step further. We want to take the effects a step further. We wanted to take the scope of everything a step further. And then also, you know, there is a rivalry between Star Wars and Star Trek that's been going on. This is a story that's been 50 years in the making. And I want to see, you know, where are we now? It's a pivotal time for both series. Reinventing Star Wars 7 as well as the 50th anniversary of Star Trek coming up. And so, whichever side you're on, or if you're on both sides, then, you know, this is the film for you.
In November, we're going to be putting it online. And in terms of getting the word out, we do have a social media page. We're also going to be visiting a lot of Star Wars, Star Trek, just general sci-fi, you know, costume groups, organizations, conventions, and hopefully we can maybe set up booths and, you know, get people interested that way. Depending on the amount of interest that we can garner online, we actually might take distribution a step further, and there's a lot of platforms out there right now that allow for that, be it, you know, Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, and even, you know, a possible small limited theatrical release isn't out of the question. But it all depends on the initial reception that we get online and how, you know, well we do there.
How can somebody get in touch with you about their costume and then maybe be a part of helping you here?
Well, the first thing that you can do is follow us on our social media, because that's where we're going to be announcing things as they happen. You can check us out at facebook.com/Star Trek Wars Film. You can check us out at twitter.com/Trek Wars Film. And you can also email us at StarTrekWarsProducers@gmail.com. And that would be great. Send us an email. But at the very least, follow us on social media so you'll get our updates.